Hello everyone, my dear students. We are reach now the last unit of this vector differentiation, vector calculus and differential equations course. We have seen from the first two units on vector, then remaining four units are just a build-up of a differential equation, just like linear differential equation, then series solution of linear differential equation, partial differential equation, then Charpit method, linear and nonlinear partial differential equations we saw. And at last, now let us see some applications of partial differential equations. So, output of today's video or today's lecture is understand the concept of partial differential equations in actual field, means in actual engineering life where exactly the partial differential equations are applicable, and if that equation appears, how we are going to solve that equations. So here where we have planned to solve five type of partial differential equations. In fact, only three types are there. Two are just actual applications we are going to use for the electrical circuits. So the first one is one dimensional heat equation we called. The special name we use heat equation. So it is related to mechanics, no problem. Heating is there. So whenever heating is there, we need two variables. As I discussed in the uh, session, need of a partial differential equation. In that I have taken the example of heating a rod. Whenever we heat a rod, then what's happen exactly? We need two directions, which we have to need two variables. We have to think in two ways, that time as well as length. When length varies, then also heat varies, and when time varies, then also heat varies. So according to that, my u is, here I use the notation u, my u is function of two variables x and t. So rate of change of u with time, it comes dou u by dou t, and rate change with length, it comes dou 2u by dou x square. So our first equation we have to study is one dimensional heat equation, and it is generally represented by dou u by dou t is equal to c square dou 2u by dou x square. In this video we will see how to solve that equation. Second one is wave equation. So it is related to oscillation, spring or a string, right? So it is related to that way, and we need here dou 2u by dou t square is equal to c square dou 2u by dou x square. Again here my u is function of two variables, distance and time. So it is called as one dimensional again wave equation. Next one is Laplace equation. Laplace equation is also called as two dimensional heat equation. Means here one more direction required. Now you may get confused. One more direction required means what exactly? Here if you observe, only x is the direction and t is the time, right? But here two directions, x axis as well as y axis, two ways, right? So d square u by dx square, dou square u by dou x square plus dou square u by dou y square is equal to 0. This is our Laplace equation we have to use. And if you understood this solution method for these three equations, then it is really a very good concept in your hand. You can apply that concept for electrical circuits, where the current or voltage you may take. Just like here I consider a radio equation. In that radio equation we consider dou square I by dou x square is equal to rc dou I by dou t. So if you compare, it is just a one dimensional heat equation, we can solve easily. Understood? Then telephone equation we have to take. In telephone equation, it looks like a wave equation. dou square I by dou x square is equal to LC dou square I by dou t square. We use the same concept as we are going to study to solve heat equation, wave equation and Laplace equation. The similar concept we will apply for radio equation and telephone equation. Now let us start actual concept for heat equation. So here I consider a homogeneous metallic thin bar, or you may call it as a rod, right? Consider a homogeneous metallic thin bar or a rod of length capital L. My u is function of two variable xt. U of xt be temperature at any time t. We are going to heat that rod, so u of xt is the temperature at any time t and at any length x. Clearly, then our heat equation is dou u by dou t is equal to c square dou square u by dou x square, where c square is equal to k upon sp, where c square is equal to k upon sp. K is our thermal conductivity, S is specific heat of body, and rho is density. Now you may think that this equation is called heat equation. How it appears, how it comes? If you want a detailed theory about it, then you refer engineering mathematics, a textbook of engineering mathematics written by N.B. Bali and Manish Goel, or you refer engineering mathematics written by Grewal or Erwin Kreyszig, higher engineering mathematics. So in that books, detailed theory is explained, right? But we just want applications, how to solve the problem, that concept we want. So I take here directly the equation. Okay. Now, whenever I take a limit for x, listen carefully, this is very very important. Whenever I take a limit for x, जब भी मैं x के लिए लिमिट लेता हूँ, x means a rod is there, rod, just take this example, rod is there, it has a length 0 to L, clearly. So my x varies from where to where? 0 to L. These conditions for x are called as boundary conditions, where t is the time. Time starts from 0 to goes to infinity. So it is initial and final conditions, right? Or we call it as initial conditions. So whenever initial condition word comes, that comes only for time t, and whenever boundary condition word comes, that comes from x. Just like if I take initially there is some temperature, means I have to take at t equal to 0 u equal to f of x. This is my initial condition. You just see here, u of x0 is equal to f of x, means u at x equal to, at t equal to 0 I get f of x. Now here boundary conditions, u of 0t equal to 0, what it indicate? At x equal to 0, u equal to 0. Here at x equal to L, u equal to g of x. So we write in this way, condition for t we call initial condition, and condition for x we call as boundary conditions. Understood? Now let us solve the heat equation. Heat equation is in front of you. It is a combination of two variables. Which are the two variables? X and t. So let us solve it. Its solution must contain x and t. So I take here, let u of xt be the function of two variables, t of t and x of x. Means my final answer must be in terms of x and t. That's why I take t of t and x of t, or you may call that u of tx. Clearly, t is function of t, x is function of x. Clearly. Now, to put this value in our first equation, I require two derivatives. So find two derivatives. Dou u by dou t is t dash. X is function of x, so remains as it is. Then dou u by dou x, t remains as it is, x is function of x, so x dash. But I need double derivative. So dou square u by dou x square, t remains as it is, x double dash. Understood this term? Now put these values in your given equation. Our given equation becomes t dash x is equal to c square t x double dash. Now separate it. Understand this concept here, because from the next lectures we are going to write down the solution directly. So here I just transfer this, see carefully. I transfer this c square and t to LHS and x to RHS. So here I get 1 upon c square t dash upon t is equal to x double dash upon x, and I call this ratio as m square. Now my m square may be positive, my m square may be negative, and my m square may be 0. Suppose I take case first, if m equal to 0 means m square equal to 0. If m square equal to 0, then I get this 1 upon c square t dash upon t is equal to 0, and x double dash upon x equal to 0 means denominator is equal to 0. Here I get t dash equal to 0, x double dash equal to 0. By integrating, what I get? T is equal to constant. Here if I integrate, I get x dash equal to c1, or you may call c2, and again integrate. Here if I integrate, I get x dash is equal to c2, right? And if I again integrate it, I get x is equal to c2x plus c3. Understood? So this is my answer for simple case. Or you may write it as a1x plus ax plus b in that form also. If I put this all these values here, c1 into c2x plus c3, multiply c1 inside and write it as ax plus b. Understood? So this is our answer when m equal to 0. Now what's happen if m is equal to positive number? When m is positive, what's happen here? T dash upon c square t is equal to x double dash upon x is equal to m square. Now I equate t dash upon c square t is equal to m square and x double dash upon x is equal to m square separately. Now I just concentrate on first part. Suppose t dash upon c square t is equal to m square. Transfer this c square 2 to RHS. I get t dash is equal to c square m square t. Now we are going to solve this. How? See carefully. T dash minus c square m square t equal to 0. Clearly means here if I write t dash as a d, I get, yes, d minus c square m square is equal to 0. Clearly? So my answer is, by using our linear differential equation, my answer is t is equal to, yes, c1 e raised to c square m square t, because from this auxiliary equation I get d is equal to c square m square. This is the root, and from this root I get this answer, c1 e raised to c square m square t. Correct? Now what's happened? See carefully. As t tends to infinity, e raised to infinity becomes infinity, means my function t goes to infinity. As t goes to infinity, my u also goes to infinity, because u is equal to x3, right? So m square greater than 0 does not exist because it goes to infinity. So only remaining case is now m square is less than 0. When m square is less than 0, then I get t dash upon c square t is equal to x double dash upon x is equal to minus m square. Now you equate both and do the same procedure. You will get that here root is, yes, here root is minus c square m square. If you simplify, you will get root, yes, minus c square m square. Correct? If I get this root minus c square m square, then my t is c1 e raised to minus c square m square t. And if I take the second one, x double dash upon x is equal to minus m square, then I get x double dash is equal to minus m square x. This implies x double dash plus m square x is equal to 0. If I write in the equation, I get d square plus m square, d square plus m square into x is equal to 0, means d is equal to plus or minus mi. Correct? I get complex root. Have you remember a linear differential equation? Then use that. X is equal to c2 cos mx plus c3 sin mx. second order linear differential equation in our unit number 3. Okay, so we get x here, we get t here, multiply these two. So I get c2 cos mx plus c3 sin mx, c1 e raised to minus c square m square t. Now multiply c1 inside and write down it as c1 into c2, I can write c4 cos mx plus c5 sin mx e raised to minus c square m square t. So this, the answer we have to use, and we can see here as t tends to infinity, this becomes 0, so we get a finite answer. Okay, example on this concept we will see in our next lecture. Thanks for watching.